Welcome, best fans in the world. We are doing the review preview show. I'm FOXY'S, you already know. That's Rob on camera. Hiya, Rob.
You alright?
Brilliant, I think. Although we're on location again, guys. Tees Barrage. Although that's actually quite a good metaphor for the season so far. Up and down, been on the rapids. Nobody seems to be steering us into safe waters. I'll leave the metaphors there, though. That can get quite convoluted. So, we're freezing cold. We didn't pick this venue, but we're here. So, let's talk about Norwich v Middlesbrough. Brilliant, that's enough said. Moving on. Reading v... Hang on, 2 seconds, guys. Right. Okay, sorry. As has just been pointed out by the director, Robert, I'm paid to talk about the game. So, under due rest, I might add, let's discuss Norwich v BORO. So, 21 shots on goal for Norwich, 7 on target. I think they had around about 9 corners. We didn't have much of anything, which is why I'm going to try and skip over this. 1 shot on target. Ben Gibson, 80th minute. That says everything you need to know about that performance. To be fair, really, Borough fans, we had a lot of fouls, 11. What does that tell you? Petulance or grafting? After the sending off, probably petulance. Disgraceful sending off, by the way. 28th minute. What happened? What was all that about? I actually don't think it made much difference. They started the game really well. The only stat that concerns me is the one in the goals column. And it was a big fat nil. Nada. Nothing. And nothing actually is the state of what happened on Saturday. The game never got started for me. Like I've just said, Gested got sent off. I don't really think it'd have made any difference. They scored in the 44th minute. Everything kind of seemed to happen in the first half. Terrell just signed a new 3-year contract, central midfielder. Scream at the be fair, 20-yarder, drilled outside the area. We did nothing. Clayton made a great block in the first couple of minutes off a Madison shot. Could have been 1-0 straight away, but it wasn't. He had a few more chances, Madison. I know we mentioned him being the main man last week. He had a few more chances. He had a brilliant free kick. Went underneath the wall, a bit like De Bruyne's a couple of weeks ago, which I think you'll have all seen. Great effort, just went wide. Very clever player, but we mentioned that. We won't go back onto all that. The other thing that we did mention as well in the last game was how we becoming a one-man team. Daniel Farke came out after the game and said that 90% of their preparation last week was about stopping Adama. Now, I'm not going to talk about this much, but I want your comments, guys. I want to know what you think feedback-wise. Before Pulis came, we weren't a one-man team. It was maybe all about Britt, Bamford, Gested. It was about the front three, realistically. Now Pulis has come in. It's all been about Traore. So are we a one-man team? Saturday's performance looked like we were. He got put down the middle after Gested got sent off. And he was actually marked out the game, as I say, really well. He played in between 2 banks of 4. There was no creation whatsoever. The guy can't really create for himself and finish everything himself. So he was marked out the game. We had nothing happening. Like I say, as I alluded to, Ben Gibson, 80th minute, 1 shot on target. It's disgusting. Now, the one thing that I would say about this, and we again alluded to this in the last preview game, was why's Braithwaite gone? Who's going to come off the bench? He brought Housen off the bench on Saturday to try and change things. But, I mean, guys, we've seen Housen all season. He came onto a standing ovation. I'm not saying this guy's not going to do anything, but he's not really going to set the world on fire. Again, tell me, do you agree with the substitutions? Have they been positive? I don't really think they have. He took Bamford off for Housen. So, we're back to square one again. It's frustrating, it's worrying, and quite frankly, I don't know what's going on. We've definitely got a squad capable of winning this league. We say it every week, but we're not. And also, we've definitely got the manager to do something really well with this team, but we're not. Teething problems are teething problems. I don't know how long these things need to sort themselves out. I wish we could use a big tub of Bonjela on that Borough team, because that seems to sort out any teething problems. But again, I'm just sniping. What I would say about the Norwich Borough game is, we did start 4-3-3, and it did look as if he was trying to maybe be a little bit more proactive and squeeze as much as he can out of the front 6. Front 5, should I say. But you know, it didn't work. Gested went off. For me, I know we've appealed also against this Gested sending off, but I wouldn't play the guy. Petulance. What is he doing making a challenge on Hanley in the centre circle with a yellow card like that in the first half? Fair enough if we're getting beat 4-0 and he's frustrated, he hasn't had a touch all game. Then, you know what, as a fan, I can kind of go, well, you know, at least he's getting stuck in. There's a bit of passion, but there was none of that. So for me, I wouldn't play him on Saturday. The milkmaid, like I said, Farker, he put one over us, on us. It's the first time Norwich have done the double over us in a long, long time, Borough fans. That in itself isn't a good stat, but as I alluded to before I did this preview, I wasn't going to talk stats, but for you purists out there, I've kind of mentioned a few. What I want to do though is talk about Reading v Middlesbrough. So, Borough v Reading, live from the Riverside. Sorry guys, it's getting really cold here, my hair might blow off. I've stuck it on though, but you never know. So, Borough v Reading, they look like they're having a bit of a hangover season to me. They got into the playoff final last year against Huddersfield, ended up going out on penalties. It was a 0-0, nothing flash. And like I said, I think they're having a bit of a hangover. They're 18th in the league this year, still under Japstam, who actually is not a bad manager. They seem to be an up and down team really. A little bit like ourselves, I suppose. Big club, Premiership club, good stadium, good surroundings, good setup, good chairman. So like for like similarities. The last game they won was Burton Albion 3-1 away. The previous away victory before that was actually at the Mackems 3-1. So we can't really count that because, as we know, Sunderland are the most diabolical team I have ever seen. But let's talk about some of their star man. Mohamedou Barrow. Been around quite a bit, played for Swansea, looked like a half-decent player, very fast, quite slight, likes to play on the left, and that's where they do most of their damage. They play with a lot of possession, short passes, they do a lot of stuff down the left-hand side, but they do like to use width. We've got Sonny Aluko on the other side, who scored 3 goals, I think, for them this season, nothing flash. Mohamedou Barrow scored 7, or 5, I think it is, not many assists. Again, they've got no real star quality in that team. They played with Kermagant up front last game as the sort of sole striker, play it into his feet. Again, it's direct football, which a lot of the Championship is, unless you're Wolves or Bristol City, it seems, or Aston Villa. But yeah, they like to play with a direct man. They've just brought Chris Martin in on loan, who I think is an excellent player. Played at Fulham last season, you remember, Borough fans. Did a lot of good work for Fulham last year on loan. And Derby have loaned him out again. I don't know why, but he's obviously not in Rowett's plans. Someone we should have looked at maybe. Again, wasn't on the agenda, was it? But Chris Martin might start. They like to play 4-2-3-1 away from home. They've got a centre-back who scored 3 goals for them, Edwards. But again, you know, there's no real main talent in there. As I've mentioned, Barrow. If we can keep Barrow out the game, very pacey player, then probably the game's going to end 0-0. I do apologise. We probably might score. I'll get to that in a minute. But he's their main man. What they're going to do with us, I don't really know. We'll find that out after the game. They're obviously going to try and mark Traore out the game because, as everybody knows now, that's the loudest secret in football now. Again, you know, I hope not. I hope we're just more than a one-trick pony on Saturday. Going back to them, like I say, -6, 18th in the league. They don't score many goals. They've just been beaten at home to Millwall 2-0 in their last league game. Nothing flash again. So, who else have we got in that team that we need to concern ourselves about? Let's have a quick think. Nobody. So, prediction-wise, Saturday. I don't know if many of you guys have actually seen my Siberian cousin this week, Roman FOXY'S. He's predicting a big 2-0. Brit to score twice. So I like to keep it in the family, and I'm going to go with what Roman FOXY'S says, or as we call him in the family, Roman FOXY'S. I think we'll score twice. That's all I'm saying. No, I don't know if we'll win. I don't know if we'll lose. I don't know if we'll draw, but I know we'll score 2. I'm going to go with Brit as well. He needs to score. I'd like to think we could score 5 actually, even just from now till the end of the season. But without being crass about this, we really need to absolutely pummel somebody quick. Because if we don't, our next preview show, I'm going to do this in mourning with a black veil, as if we've had a funeral, because the season will be over. We said it last week. the season's over if we don't beat Norwich, but as a Borough fan, you just can't let go of that positivity. So, I think we'll score 2, but I really don't know where that'll take us. Rob, any suggestions?
1-1.
1-1. You see, now I don't know whether this is the cold that's got to us or whether we're just being realistic for a change. I don't like this realistic Borough fan. I think I like it better when my head's in the clouds a little bit. So, Rob's going 1-1. I'm saying we're scoring 2. Let's hope it's a thrashing, and let's hope that we put ourselves back in a position where we can actually have an end of the season that's positive and maybe slide into those playoffs and do something special. Doesn't look like it right now, does it, guys? But listen, I've been Foxy, that's been Rob, this has been the Review Preview Show. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you guys soon. Peace out, whoever you are, wherever you are, Borough fans. Guys, what I forgot to mention, fantastic competition we've got for you. You can win 2 Premiership season tickets. See how positive I'm being? You can win 2 Premiership season tickets. I said it twice, it's got to happen. The competition is 2 season tickets for next season. That's why I mentioned the Premiership, forever positive. 2 season tickets for next season. But the only way you're going to win these, guys, is by getting on our site and becoming a member, becoming a subscriber. Join BoroFanTV, like, share us everywhere, get on Twitter, get on Facebook, spread the word. Otherwise, you ain't got no chance of winning these tickets. So, good luck, guys. Peace out.